Hello, learners, and welcome back to English with Teacher Dixon. Having explored exhaustively the sounds of English language ranging from the vowel sounds to the consonant sounds, I want to further make inquiry into the positions of graphemes. Now we've delved into the sounds, not only its articulation, but also on the aspects of the letters of the alphabet that can represent each of the 44 sounds of English language. Now I want to draw your attention to something equally very important, and that is the positions of letters. Do you know that the positions of letters of the alphabet when spelling a word can influence the sound in it? So even when you are exposed to the different grapheme, you should also understand the different positions of the grapheme. We have some graphemes that can represent different sounds depending on positions. So it is important to understand positions when it comes to sound articulation. Okay, so now our consideration is on the spellings of words. And in word spellings, we have three different positions. And the position we are talking about is based on syllables, that is the unit of pronunciation. So the aspect of a word you pronounce with one puff of breath, that is a syllable. So for instance, if we have the word take has the spelling take. Then we have T at the beginning. And then in the transcription, you have T at the beginning and K at the end. Then at the middle, you have A. So T is at the initial position, whereas K is at the final position, while the vowel sound A is at the medial position. The same thing applicable to talk. In the word talk, we have letter T at the beginning, we have a L at the middle, and then we have K at the end. So letter T is at the initial position, letter K is at the final position, whereas a L is at the medial position. So that is how we consider positions based on spellings of words. So the position of a particular letter affects the sound underneath. So we want to consider how the sounds underlying certain letters change based on the position they occur in words. So first of all, we want to consider the spelling OUR. This is a grapheme because it can represent a sound. So we want to find out the different sounds this grapheme can represent at different word position. In other words, if we have OUR at the beginning of a word, what sound are we expecting there? And if we have it at the medial position, at the middle of a word, between two consonant sounds or between two consonant letters, what are we expecting there? And then if we have it at word final position, what are the sounds we're expecting there? So we have here word position and then phoneme or sound realized. So in this column, we are looking at the positions, the different positions. And here we have only three positions because we have three positions of letters in English language. So we have the initial position, that is when you have the letter at the beginning of a syllable. And then we have the medial position when you have the letter or letters at the middle of a word. And then we have the final position when you have the letter or letters at the end of a syllable. All right, so at the initial position, we have OUR realized as hour, the triphthong, hour. In words like hour, that's OUR, and ourselves, So you've seen in place of OUR, we have the R sound, R. So take note of that. But when you have the same spelling, but at medial position, the sound changes to O, the long O. For instance, we have here court. We have the onset, that's the initial consonant sound and the final consonant sound. And in between the initial and final consonant sound, we have OUR. So in place of that OUR, we have the O sound. The same thing applicable to God. God. You have cause and source, even mourn. You can add to this list. We have so many words. So when you have this kind of letter arrangement, you're likely to have the O sound in place of OUR. Moreover, at final position, we don't have the O sound, neither do we have the OUR sound. What we have there is the sound, the shortest vowel sound in English language, which is vowel number 12, the schwa sound. So that also implies that there will be difference between the pronunciation of OUR at medial position and at initial position and that of the final position. Here, the OUR is articulated shorter than at any other position. Here you articulate the sound beneath OUR or underneath OUR shorter than what you have in other word positions. We have the sound as in color, color. We have the sound representing in place of OUR. We have here honor, honor. In place of OUR, we have the sound. Then we have favor, rumor, neighbor, neighbor. We have the sound. We have armor, valor, endeavor. We have harbor and flavor. So at the final position of words, we have the sound, that's the schwa sound. Whereas at the medial position, in place of OUR, we have the O sound. And at the initial position, the beginning of a syllable, we have the R sound. Let's also consider this other one, virtually the same. The difference is just one letter. Here we have OR instead of OUR. And at initial position, that's when you have OR at the beginning of a word, you're likely to have the O sound, that's the long O. For instance, orange, orbit, organ, orchid, order. So the OR in these words are articulated as O. Also, we have OR at the medial position, at the middle of words. For instance, we have the opening consonant sound or consonant letter here and the closing consonant letter. Hence, we have OR at the middle of the two consonant letters. So, this OR is realized as O, just like at the initial position. So, there is similarity here, that's between the initial position and the medial position. So, we have port, sort, normal, record, fortune, portal. You may question, this one we have the O sound at the second syllable. We are considering syllable, not the whole word. So it is still at the medial position because we have k and d here. So the O sound is at the medial position. We have fortune and portal. But at the final position of words, the OR you change to R. That's the short R again. Now, the schwa sound, vowel number 12, as in actor, creator, doctor, mirror, and tutor. So it is very important to understand that the different positions of words can affect the sound you have in place of the same grapheme. So notwithstanding the fact that the grapheme OUR can be articulated as hour, it is not applicable to every situation. If you have OUR at the medial position, it is likely to change to or, and then at the final position, it is likely to change to So note words with this kind of spellings and try to confirm them from the dictionary. Ensure you learn to articulate these words properly. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'd like you to please do me the favor of liking this video, share it, and also subscribe to this channel. Many thanks. I remain Teacher Dixon.